Testing, 1, 2, 3, 4, testing, testing. I don't know what the fuck is, it ain't working. All right, here we go. For some reason, I've had my shit on, I was testing the audio beforehand. Anyway, what's the motherfucking deal, man? Welcome to The Den. If you're not familiar with The Den, The Den is the best conversation on the entire interwebs. You can search high and low. You'll never find a better show. The reason why is because of you wonderful people who join the conversation each and every night that we do go live. So I thank you for being here. Had some technical difficulties, still look like I might be dealing with some shit. It's I don't know, man. It's a deal, an issue with like these AMD boards. And you know, I call myself being a AMD fanboy. And some of you are like, AMD, what the fuck are you talking about? I don't even know what that stands for, American Micro Devices or some shit like that. Anyway, it's been giving me some fucking issues. Apparently there's like a USB thing that's been going on with these. I guess I've been forced up until this point. I noticed some stuff a while back, but I guess it just got real bad on me. So we'll figure it out. So if there are any errors, I apologize beforehand, but we're still gonna have a good old time. So anyway, tonight's topic, choosing sides, right? You know, Honcho, what do you mean by choosing sides? You got a bunch of various flags of different organizations or groups or whatever you want to call it, right? And some of these are controversial depending on what your opinions may or may not be. So we'll get into that because we live in a society where everything, every waking moment of your life has now been politicized. Your health has been politicized. And again, you can say, well, that's been going on for a while. I don't think as much as it ever has been up until this point, right? You know, where you choose to eat, where you work, the companies in which you support, the shows you watch, the artists you listen to, everything, right? Everything has become politicized, no matter what. Man, it's just, it's a tough thing. But let's see what we got joining us, man. Let's talk about it. Let's shout out to all you lovely, wonderful people who take the time to bless me with your presence. And I thank you for that. Because again, you could be anywhere in the world, and the fact that you're kicking it here with me, or excuse me, the Den folk and I truly do appreciate that, right? So let's see what we got. We got John, my favorite New York. I'm an island boy. I'm a wild one, yeah. I don't know. That's about more than they are. Marie, the lovely Miss Marie. How are you doing this evening? Ben, what's the motherfucker deal? How are you doing this evening? Dr. D. Kenobi, he's going to cure us all with the C19. Shout out to the good Dr. D. Kenobi. 335. Peace. That will never not be funny to me. Never not be funny, man. Oh, man. Let's see. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Heidi's here. Well, there's that. So, you know, if you're into that kind of thing, you know, she's here. Oh, Pinky herself. Cult classic case. Hey man, look, Jack. Let me tell y'all something. Okay. If I ever recommend anything to y'all, always understand that I'm genuine about it. That's a very important thing to me. To be genuine about the things I support, people I support. It's never fraudulent. If you are into entertainment as far as not the gossipy, gobbledygook, e-news type shit, but if you like video games, you like video game news, you like good gaming, movies, things of that such, from a person who's knowledgeable, I mean, in touch and up to date with the information and what's going on, you gotta follow Cult Classic Cage, subscribe to the channel. It's good shit. I promise you, you will enjoy it. Real genuine, honest person, good opinions, none of that fanboy weird shit, just good shit. I'm telling you, support it. You will not regret it. You'll come back and you'll thank me. And if you don't, well, shame on you. Mbole, I hope I'm not messing your name up too much. Welcome. Chill out. What's the motherfucking deal? Bilderberg, what's the motherfucking deal? Broderick, I would say Broderick's like the female Heidi. I mean, not the female Heidi. Well, to some of you that might work, I guess. It's like the male Heidi, but not as funny. But Heidi doesn't make barbecue, so there's that. Shout out to Broderick. What's the motherfucking deal? Delta Echo Golf. What's the motherfucking deal? Be more careful. How are you doing this evening? It's always good to see you. I hope all is going well with you. Let's see. No, not kind, honest. That's what I'm not. I don't think I'm a very kind person. I could probably be more kind. I'm just honest. Like, shit I fuck with. I'm gonna genuinely I'm since you always talking about me slipping, Heidi. Things I genuinely like, I genuinely support. People I genuinely like, I support. That's just how it is, man. Like if I fucks with you, I fucks with you. And that's just what it is. So like I said, man, 50, 51st. I don't believe that. You know, I don't believe that. I think you fooling us. You trying to get some of that you trying to get to that senior citizen discount early. Oh, I don't put you a day over 21. I'm gonna need proof. I'm gonna need to see some ID and some verification. I'm gonna need a birth certificate, a vaccine passport, all that good shit. But that's good to hear. Happy belated. If I did not shout you out, I apologize. But let's get into it, right? And choosing sides. We're in a world, we're in a society, we're in an America where you have to choose almost. You can no longer be neutral. You can no longer ride the fence. You can no longer just be like, hey, you know what? I got nothing for it. I learned this thing, and I think I might have mentioned it to you guys before, but there's this phrase, right? And certain groups are so good at word manipulation in their favor, and other groups fall into the trap of not knowing how to play the word games, right? If you don't know how to play the word games, you end up losing. So anyway, these word manipulations, these conversations, these things that are had, these new phrases, PC, if you will. I said I was going to do a whole PC thing, so I'm not trying to go too far into that, but I'm going to make some references to that tonight. The quiet violence. Like the quiet violence. Have y'all ever heard of that phrase? The quiet violence. And basically, this is saying that if you don't support or something, if you don't openly support something, then you're causing harm to people. Like there are groups these days, pardon my belching. There are people these days who feel like everything is violence. And I feel like these people have never experienced real physical violence, right? I mean, stuff that leaves marks, bruises, bullet holes, wounds, whatever you want to call it, right? Real violence. Maybe you lose a tooth, break a nose, whatever it may be. Because they say that words are violence. They say, oh, these words you use, they're sparking violence. Who was it? I showed y'all a video about the dude. Oh man, my bad, whatever. It was comment on Dashville saying that's violence against people like us, those jokes. At no point in time did Dave say go, fight transgender people. Did he say go fight or attack or, do any of these things? But because he was not openly defending them and supporting it, it becomes violence, right? And so this is what people do, because some people don't want to be identified as violent people. Some people want to be liked by everybody. So they fall into this trap, this verbal trap that has been laid by certain groups, by the media, by those people, who in reality don't believe they possess the physical power or prowess to get what they would like to achieve. So they do it through these means of literally undermining things as we know it, weakening the foundation to eventually where people they plant it and then they it caves in, right? You know what I'm saying? Exactly. Silence is violence. Exactly. And so, like, to me, I think that's such a weird thing. But here's the problem is that those actions, those conversations are deceptive, right? Because they really get you to stray from the real topic, the real ideal of what's being discussed. And they try to play on your integrity and your morals. Well, here's something I've come to accept, right? Morals are not equal. We all know this, right? The morals are not equal. And because a person believes that they are taking the higher moral ground doesn't necessarily mean that they're taking the higher moral ground. It's just what they believe in. So I say this to tell you, if anybody's trying to verbally bully you into something, you don't fall for the okie doke. If you don't support something, then don't support it. You don't have to explain why you do or don't. You don't have to justify why you do or don't. You just don't have to, right? Because like I said, it's the verbal games being set by particular groups are a trap, right? And don't fall for the trap. So let's talk about it. But what I'm saying about choosing sides. So you got all kind of things out there. You got, LGBT groups. You got people who believe there's an uprising in socialism and communism. You have Democrats and Republicans. You have the North and the South, right? You got all kind of different things that people feel like you must choose a side. You must choose a side. You have to participate in something, right? Mm-hmm. Exactly. And I agree with you, Mr. People. And it's just like, why? Why is it now though? Because see, we've come to a time where if social media, I guess was a place. I guess at first everybody's want to be friends and play Farmville, but now it's gotten, like I said, where politics has intercepted every point of your life, every aspect of your life. If you wake up and you drink a certain kind of water or coffee in the morning, well, this coffee uses child labor from Guatemala, and these bags are from Indonesian children's skin or something like. I mean, I'm being outrageous, right? But and people get like, you can't drink. Like, well, what if I like the coffee? What if I just want to drink? What if I'm not truly concerned? Why do I have to be concerned? Who is making me? And I'm not malicious. I'm not worse off. I'm not bad, because there's certain things that I accept that I have no control over, right? I accept that I have no say so. And you have people who they make it their mission in life to try to correct the wrongs of the world. But you understand that this will never happen, right? It will never take place. And you can try. I'm not saying don't do good. I think the most good that you can do is directly, whether it be, informing people, whether it be feeding, the homeless. And kind of like this thing on that. I'm not going to go super crazy with it because people are, Honcho, you're a terrible person. But I'm just looking at things a certain way. If we're going to be honest about things, I'm not going to talk about that today. But I don't think there's anything really wrong with it, but there's also some other shit that should go along with that. I think the most good you can do is by showing that you're doing good. And I think that inspires, that motivates other people to do good in their own way, right? Not by going out and trying to attack, undermine, destroy. We saw what happened all last year, right? And people felt like, oh, we're going to destroy stuff, we're going to fuck stuff up. And what really came from it, right? Who really benefited anything? Who saw an improvement in their quality of life for anything, right? And so there you go. The only people who won last year were the politicians. That's pretty much it. The people lost, the neighborhoods lost, businesses lost, jobs were lost, lives were lost, all of these things. And I'm going back to the thing what I was talking about, wordplay and manipulation. And this is why I don't really entertain television. I laugh, at news articles because they're so ridiculous nowadays. But it's a point where you kind of have to trust your own judgment. You have to trust your own knowledge, right? Or people that you find to be genuine and knowledgeable. Because the people that they put in front of that screen, these people are just paid speakers. They're here to say anything, right? Who was it? Don Lemon talked all that shit about Florida and all that when he was out sunbathing. I don't know too many niggas who sunbathe. I believe that you need to get sun every day, get the natural vitamin D. Pause with Don Lemon. Anyway, but I think you need certain things. I got some weird other thoughts on that, but you talk down, you shut up, you're not wearing masks, you're not doing this, and you shouldn't be here. Florida's a terrible place, and all of these things, right? But then you go and participate in that stuff. You saw people going to attend last year when there were a couple of candidates running, going to attend the other guy, the old guys, rallies, super spreader events. Tens of thousands of people marching up and down streets, blocks, right next to each other. Some places tearing shit up. running rampant, running wild. Um, Mostly peaceful protests, like literal cars on fire. We can talk about Kyle and that whole situation, what was going on there. It looked like I won't say a war zone, right? Because I think that's disrespect to those people who have actually been in the war zones. But it was a fucked up scene, right? It was an urban event, we'll call it. I'm gonna use my own political phrasing. But it was a piece of shit. It was a craziness, right? You got motherfuckers out here destroying shit. It was anarchy in the streets. Like I said, police stations were getting burned down, garbage trucks were getting burned. I mean, if you come outside at any other time when there's normalcy going on, right? And you see something on fire, you call the fire department, you put it out, you're like, hey, that was terrible, you can't. But when you go out and, I mean, blocks are burning, right? Blocks are burning. And nobody's doing anything about it, but running around, looting, stealing, shooting. Mostly peaceful protests, right? So again, it is what it is. You know what I mean? So Heidi, you're a terrible person. But we all know what's going on there. But like I said, but I'm giving you back to choosing sides. I'm way off topic because I'm really thinking about another thing I want to talk about, but let me stay on point. But choosing sides, right? When I genuinely say that I fuck with everybody, I'm not a person who can ostracize someone because of their political views. Now, the actions that they display behind those political views, that's one thing. That's a different thing. But because you feel, a certain kind of way, I cannot fault someone for that. Because a few years back, I had completely different views, right? And I guess you could say, well, what did BLM change my perspective on a lot of shit, right? That whole ordeal there, right? That definitely changed. So maybe they did do some good, right? No, that's unfortunate in the Cali. 100% juice for 100% kids. But like I said, I don't understand why it's gotten so bad that people can no longer be civil, right? People have gone to the point of extremes. You, excuse me, you don't vote for the guy who has blatantly shown you how he feels, the thing he said, although he does have love for great Negroes. You've seen, excuse me, pardon me, I got something going on here. This is disgusting. I don't want y'all to, hold on just one moment. All right, sorry about that. But here's my thing, right? Like you've seen a guy who's blatantly said questionable statements, right? And we've heard them out of his mouth directly. But you've seen niggas, you've seen black Americans, or what we call black folks. Some blacks in America are not necessarily black Americans. They're not for America. Jump through hoops. I mean, do verbal gymnastics to try to validate and justify, right? You've seen people vote for things that are not in their best interest because they've aligned themselves under this particular umbrella. And it's no more about having a thought. It's no more about having, choosing what's best for you or choosing what's best for your family. People have aligned, right? It's either you're Democrat or you're Republican. And we're just going to go straight ticket. We're going to go down the middle. Doesn't matter if the guy you're voting for is going to sell your fucking house, ship your job out the fucking country, raise your insurance. Like, I don't want to be aligned with the other side because I don't want my friends not to like me anymore. And I say that if a person, yeah, I've been around Scotty too long. It's getting crazy, goddamn dog. But if a person is willing to sever your ties, sever your friendships because of who you politically align yourself with, I'm going to tell you, keeping a real time around. I wish I could. Oh, I wish I could. But how are you doing this evening? Hope all is well. But like I said, people will cut decades-long alliances with people that they've known who've done probably countless things for them because of who they chose politically. And it might have been a one-time thing, right? And again, to me, I cannot fathom that. I talked to one of my very good friends today, right? One of my very good friends. He's from Texas, lives in California now, in LA. Very liberal. Very liberal, right? But this has been my buddy since fucking like third grade, right? When I first met, I'll never forget. He could draw his fucking ass off. And I was like, yeah, I can draw. I got this chicken monster that I draw. And I drew this terrible looking thing. He thought it was the funniest shit ever. And we've been cool ever since then. We disagree on stuff. He fucking hates guns, anti-gun, not a violent person, just a whole different view of things. Like I say, a whole different view of things. I still call this person one of my best friends. Probably very anti-Trump. We haven't even really had a discussion about it. But, and I'm not saying I'm super pro-Trump, I'm just, views or whatever. But I could never imagine saying, you know what, God damn it, you dirty liberal, you just want, like, there's just no way, I don't understand. And again, and I'm calling this out from both sides because this is how people are. But I think that a lot of people, because of the media, we know who runs the media, we know who runs television, entertainment, newspapers, Hollywood, music, whatever it may be. It's a particular alignment. And honestly, I don't even think that these people are particularly aligned, but they push out a certain message. So I guess you would have to be. And I think the people who support, buy into, listen to these things, they get caught up in it. And like B More said, the athletes, the entertainers, the actors, we go and I don't really give a fuck about them motherfuckers. Those people, I look at it differently. Athletes, entertainers, whatever, they work for you. But see, instead, people got it backwards. They like idolize them. Dakota does not live in Africa. Actually, I think Dakota works down the street from me now. I'm gonna go pull up on his ass one day. Excuse me, you little motherfucker. They work for you. They're here for your entertainment. If you don't watch, they don't get paid, right? If you don't support the team, they lose fucking money and they move. And somebody else is like, this team sucks and they lose money. But instead, we've gotten to the point where we idolize. Like, you can appreciate something without idolizing. These motherfuckers are living a whole different world. They have no understanding like you have understanding. They exist on a whole different, and they're not in tune. And they just hear the shit that people tell them. Or they say the shit that people tell them to say so that they can keep a job or they can keep, being employed, living the good life, right? And especially an actor. Like, I don't understand how anybody listens to anything their job is to perform a lie very well. Their job is to perform being something that they're not very well. That's what makes them an actor, acting like something they're not. So how the fuck do I believe your opinion? Like, your job, you're a professional liar. You're a damn good liar on camera. A lot of them aren't that good. A lot of them just try to be good if they're not. But again, so it's like, how do I give a shit? And then I'm supposed to listen to LeBron's opinion on politics. Sometimes LeBron been wrong. LeBron was wrong. He was getting mad. He tried to talk about Kyle crying, and we seen LeBron cry like a bitch because he stubbed his pinky toe, right? Remember, he was mad about that cop that shot the girl who's finna stab the other chick. He had somebody, you're next. Well, what happened with that? Nothing. He had another comment about something, and it's just like, dog, you're always wrong. Like, LeBron, where's LeBron? LeBron is about as wrong as he is successful at winning championships by himself, right? The king who, anyway, I'm not even gonna get into that. I don't care about the sports. But again, these people work for you, right? They work for your time. So getting your opinion from them, again, don't do it. Get your opinion from people who are more in the know, or like I say, people that you have a trust and understanding with. Oh no, he's on page 7 now, from what I've heard. Oh, But again, like what I'm saying, in these people, right? A lot of these people, when we talk about choosing sides, they have a lot of conflicting opinions. And this is why I say politics is such a weird thing. And that's why I say it's hard for me to say I just align. That's why I consider myself an independent, because there's some issues I'm probably going to agree mostly with more conservative minded people. There might be an issue or two out there where I say, I don't necessarily agree with that, or I would probably go in a different direction than that. I don't know what those issues are, but I keep an open mind, right? That's just what I do. But I'm just a hater, IDX. But again, so when it comes to choosing sides, I want to know, how do you choose? What made you make the choices that you make? Because I think a lot of us, especially I think if you come from a minority background, I think a lot of us started out one way because we were always told a certain thing. And then the people around you, said that. And it's human nature that when so many people say something, especially when you don't have a good understanding, you buy into it, right? Especially people who look like you or in your community, people that you look up to as a form of authority, especially at a young age. And then there comes a point where in your life, maybe you encounter something, you get an understanding of that something, or whatever it may be. So I'm gonna point out a couple of issues, and if y'all want to throw out some issues, and when again, like I say, and where and why we stand on these things, then I'll open up the lines. I hope the audio is hey. Shout out to Strong and Grand, aka Dan the Man. Hey, y'all gotta understand, right? To me, it's about the conversation, right? It's always about the conversation. It's truly about y'all. Like if it was about the numbers when it comes to subs, y'all know how many. Remember when I had I know Kenneth remembers, young Ken remembers, because he talks about that shit all the time. And it might be time to do that again soon. But anytime I've had like that pro-black conversation, why I did not identify as pro-black, I lose a significant number of subs, like 100 subs, or maybe more. So if it was all about subs, it would be it would be a different conversation. I'd be talking to y'all about. I would be talking about entertainers. We'd be talking about the baby and his IG live tonight. So there's that. Yes, we go in reverse here. We go backwards. Like I had like a 5K goal a long time ago. It doesn't work. Hey, Miss Bell, how are you? But I appreciate the super chat love. Shout out to Dan the Man. But so like I say, to me, I'd rather have the conversation. Like I know there's much easier ways to like really pump it up. But it's like, would I genuinely enjoy that? Would I genuinely enjoy having just these like shallow ass stupid conversations where we could talk about so much other more interesting things? But I'll say just a few issues, and I'm going to address my thoughts, why, and how I feel, the sides I align with on certain things. And again, it doesn't have to always be all political. And what changed those thoughts. And like I said, when we open up the lines, I want you to feel free to address that, why you feel, maybe whether it be political. Well, everything's political now. And that's so crazy. Like everything is political. I cannot watch sports. I cannot watch sports the way I used to. And again, if you're in soft sports, I think y'all have noticed some of this, not so much with the text, but it's just like, it's just gotten to the point where football's trying to be all political. The Kaepernick thing was whatever. When they were doing all the BLM shit on the fucking NBA courts, like y'all are out here campaigning for chomos and fucking people who are violating other people's lives under the perception because somebody told y'all to do this shit and y'all have no idea what the fuck is going on. Y'all were out here really taking knees for fucking Jacob Blake, who can't take a knee anymore himself, but who gives a fuck, right? Why? You don't need him goddamn knees so he can fucking violate more women. Like, get the fuck out of here. But this is what people would do. And this is what people get so blinded into these bullshit ass beliefs that they will stand for the most absurd individuals and people and causes. Like right now, I saw a thing. I'd be on the Twitters, right? I'd be on the tweets. And someone said that after the Kyle Rittenhouse trial, bosses should understand, or it was like they should understand if black people want a few days off, or bosses should automatically give their black employees 2 or 3 days off after the verdict. I was like, what the fuck does that even mean? You're talking about a trial that involves no black people whatsoever. So why the fuck would black people need a fucking day off? And the sad part about this is there were people who agreed with the shit. And like, do y'all not understand what happened? Like, he didn't shoot Jacob Blake. Like, he shot some fucking molesters, he killed a molester, he killed a wife beater, and he shot a dude who was about to shoot him. Right? Now, I saw the gun charge got dismissed. Cool. That's the only thing I thought was going to be weird, you know. And it's like, I don't understand it. And it's less like, it's mind blowing. Anyway, but these people exist. But again, these people are master word manipulators, not that guy in particular, but particular side. So I told y'all this story, multiple times before, right? And how I started thinking more conservative, or how I started aligning with more conservative thoughts, individuals, or being more open-minded, to the conservative perspective, right? Because I remember around the time of the Sandra Bland's and all that, it was probably as recently as that I was still very liberal-minded. I was messed up and, that's fucked up, But again, when I look back on it and I realize what it was all very emotional thinking, right? It was very emotional thinking. But that's around when it started to kind of transition. And so I got a gig, small business owner, he owns a restaurant, and he was having some issues with his, computers. And it was a chick I knew that worked there. And she was just like, yeah. And she was just like, she told him, she's like, yeah, I got a friend who can do it. He can take care of it. And I hadn't really fucked with PCs and shit like that in a while. But gave me a shot, name a price. He was like, cool, let's make it happen. And, it took a little while. I found what the issue was, and, I did doing some other little things. And we became real cool dude. And while I was there, I didn't realize that this bar, like I said, there was a lot of bar, restaurant, whatever you want to call it, a lot of well-to-do people here, right? Like a lot of well-to-do individuals. And I did not realize people point things out, ex-mayors and current mayors and people who just had a lot of money, right? And I never thought of it. I thought they were just regular ass people because of the way they carried themselves. And I'd be behind the bar working on it because it was like 4 systems I had to work on. And they would just be talking to me, trying to offer me drinks. Hey man, you need to take a break. You're working too hard. Hey, get a drink and I guess on me. I'm like, no, I'm cool. And they would just be talking about various things, right? And there was one guy who was there. He was a fucking dickhead. He's like, yeah, I see you're having trouble with the thing. Let me take a look at it. Normally I charge $100 an hour to do this, but since I know, I'm not gonna say his name, I'll take a look and see what's going on. Motherfucker did absolutely nothing. Didn't figure out what the fucking problem was. Did not know. Was in no better position for him working on it, whatever. And he's like, I just can't figure it out, whatever. So after he's done eating, he leaves. Everybody's like, oh, fucking dickhead, dude. I hate that dude. I can't stand him. Yeah, his reason why he's a dickhead, he's a fucking Democrat. And it didn't click to me at all, right? I'm telling you, I did the political, like, even though fucking Fox News was on the TV like the whole time, I did not click at all, right? And then I was just like, whoa. Like, so all these people are, and again, like I said, it was just different. And the conversation we had, like I said, motherfuckers offered me a fucking job in Brazil. If I wasn't dealing with some other issues, I definitely went. But like I said, just cool folks, right? And I'm just like, what the fuck? I always thought in my mind, Republicans were racist. Always thought it. Why? Because that's what was drilled in my mind as a young black man coming up. And again, being a Jehovah's Witness, growing up, we didn't get involved in politics. It was probably the smartest thing. It's probably like the most of everything else. It's like the most sensible thing that they do. Don't even fucking involve yourself in politics. But so the people I was around whenever it was coming up, it was, oh, Republicans are racist. Republicans are racist. That's just what the message always was. And like I said, I started looking at things and I started getting a better understanding of what was going on. And my perception of what the message was, it's not racist. It's just, you got to get it done. It's just like, you can't give everybody everything. And again, you can't incentivize everything. And I'm just like, okay, now I understand, where people are coming from. I understand what it, and then it just all kind of flipped. And then I started actually learning about some other policies that took place, other things events that took place. And it's just like, I've been duped. And so when I have learned that, I understand why so many other Black folks are of that mentality, right? Because they didn't get that. Like, had it not been for that experience, I might have never changed my views or my perspective on things. And so that's why I say I can't fault niggas, but I can fault niggas. Like, Honcho, what are you talking about? You just said you can't fault them. I can't fault niggas. I'm gonna tell you why I can't fault niggas. Fault niggas for this shit.
Obama, we take you back to
Where are those niggas now? You might get a little bit of buffer here. I see us doing some janky jank. Hold on, give me a second. What do we got going on here? I see we're doing some janky. Stop the jankerage. Give me 1 second. What we got going on here? Yeah, but that's all niggas know how to do is dance. Like, dance, dog. Like, yeah, we'll solve the world's problem by dancing. We'll dance the hate away. And it's just like, come on, bro. Like, why? Why do niggas always got, and they politicize the electric slide. The electric slide has been politicized, right? This is where we are now. Where are these niggas? Let me bring this back one more time. I want to find every mother. They found the DJ who did this, and they've been getting on his. He's a super old, woke, whack ass DJ. But look at it. Look who's out there now. Like, and this is what I talk about when I say choosing sides. Look at the men, the actual Black men that are out there. Very frail looking, very weak looking. Look at this guy. Look at the people. Bunch of weird looking individuals, right? And you can say, Honcho, you're old hairy nigga. You weird looking, and you might be true, right? And I embrace my weirdness, and I'm cool with that. But like, here's my deal. Another reason I don't align with them is they're a lot of them. The men that they put out, especially when you're talking about Black men, we don't want to talk about, especially their whole thing is intersectionality and all individualism, right? Well, where's the individual who looks like me? Right? Where is the Black man that thinks like me? All I see are Don Lemons. I see what was his name? The Black nigga that's doing meth. The fucking damn, I can't think. Gillum, whatever his name is, Andrew Gillum, over there doing God knows what. One, you doing meth. Niggas don't do meth. Then you're in a hotel, allegedly at a whatchamacallit, you're in there with some male prostitutes and shit. You can kill the prostitute. Usually if you're gonna kill a prostitute, look, you can't be out there killing gay prostitutes. I don't care if it was a meth overdose. Like, that shit has nothing to do with, like, I can't align with these. Like, I don't see Gillum's values. Obama, how is he like me? Obama was raised by a white woman. How can I relate to that? How did niggas think that they were raised, that they can equate to a nigga who was raised by a white woman? Same with Colin Kaepernick, right? And I'm not saying there's an issue with white women, but I'm just saying, like, how does this relate to me as a Black man? Like, where's this right? Because the whole leftist thing is, we got to point out, you got to be a non-binary, super gender, left, gay, trans, like it's just like all these things, right? And it's just basically like a bunch of double negatives that equate to, oh, this person's like a straight person. They got all this weird shit going. They turn out all these double negative genders that they turn out to be straight people. But again, it's just like, no, like, how do I don't relate to that. I don't care about any of that, right? Exactly. My mama was barely raised in America. So how do you relate to him as a nigga? Colin Kaepernick was raised in a two-parent home. We already know the statistics on that, right? We know the statistics for niggas in the two-parent home. How do I relate to that, right? I do not. Where is the black man that just wants to work, take care of his family, mind his own business? The left doesn't even believe in families anymore, right? Getting a little jankers there, a little jankers. I see the jankers block, but they don't even believe in Duh, and that's what I'm saying. And the crazy part is that they went to back. Shout out to Dan the Man, appreciate the love. Phil him, Gillum doing Florida proud. Duh, imagine if Gillum would have wanted to set a run. Oh man. But my thing is, oh my goodness, Delta, you're a terrible person. But my thing is, like I said, where is the family? Where is that? That doesn't relate to me. So I'm just cherry picking the crazy parts. They're all crazy parts, Heidi. They're all crazy parts, right? And so again, I'm not a believer in we just need to give everybody a bunch of welfare and fucking they'll figure it out. And niggas have had enough welfare, right? Like there needs to be political term limits. There needs to be welfare term limits. Like you should have so much, like you get like one kid's worth. And if you don't figure it out on your first kid and you go pop out another one thinking that, like, no, bro, like, no, you got one kid. The welfare is to help you get back on your feet, figure it out, go to school, whatever you need to do, get yourself to fucking together so you can raise that. Like all of these policies, all of the mentality, all the word games, all the PC shit. I'm not a PC person. Florida would have been fun. Florida, regular people, Democrats are just as bad, right? Because they're lying. Like you're guilty by association. But like I said, I can have a civil conversation with anybody as long as it doesn't go off the rails. I can talk to anybody. And I do believe like overall most people are more moderate. Like I truly do believe that more people are in the middle. I don't think everybody's all super on the edges of everything. But when it comes to particular issues, right? I can't save the white folk. I can't save the Hispanics. The Asians don't need saving, right? But when we come to talking to black people about politics, especially when it comes to Republican versus Democrat, like niggas would rather fuck it, I won't vote, than even consider why the options on the other side may be a little bit better. Miss Thang, OG77013, what's the motherfucking deal? I've been catching bits and pieces of the trial. You know what I'm saying? Oh, Roethlisberger. See, that's what I'm saying. I didn't even know Roethlisberger got it. Roethlisberger got it? I didn't even know he had that. Crazy. Right? Who's worse, Twitter dams or TikTok dams? TikTok dams might be the worst of the worst. They just do videos. They don't even know words. Sailor Boy. Do you listen to Soldier Boy? Now, give me a second. Let me open up the lines. Let's talk about some things. Those are regular Democrats. There are no regular Democrats, Heidi. Once you let the AOCs become leaders of the parties, all the normalcy has gone out the window. Yeah, I got insurance. If I get cancer, I'm not going to get no fucking chemo. Definitely not going to do it. But insurance is a good thing to have. It's expensive. But it's not cheap. And I can understand that, but I also understand, you can end up in situations like some of these other countries, right? where I'm not going to say that we need universal health care. Like, I feel like this. This is my main premise on everything. The more the government gets involved in anything, the more it gets fucked up. Period. Like, single people, y'all can't even have good sex anymore, right? I got y'all out there having to sign consent contracts, escalation of consent. Yeah. Look, oh, you want to do some shit that wasn't on the original contract, you got to put an addendum on it, you got to put a cover sheet on it. You got to send in your consensual sex reports. Like, anytime the government gets more and more involved in human beings' lives, especially in this country, the worse off things become, and the more expensive shit gets. They always talk about lowering price, but also it becomes way higher, right? So, again, that's my whole deal. Yeah, I got bad knees. I ain't gonna lie. I definitely, but it's not like I need to go get surgery. I need to fucking exercise them, right? Yeah, I feel like oh yeah, oh no, here's let's talk about that ADOS shit for a second. All right, I'm just gonna take this call, but remind me about ADOS. What's the motherfucking deal? Who do we have calling into the den this evening? Oh, hold on, I got my audio fucked up. All right, there we go. All right, bet. All right, my audio was tripping. I think we should be good now. Let me know if y'all can hear in the chat. I want to make sure because I know my audio was tripping. I might not be. Hold on. All right, I think we good. Dan the man with the plan. What's the motherfucking deal? How you doing this evening, sir?
I'm doing all right, man. I forgot I don't have class tomorrow, so I'm just chilling right now. I'm working on some paperwork and 2 papers I do at the end of the month at the library tomorrow, so I'm going to chill and call into my favorite show.
Oh, I appreciate it.
Yeah, man. But I didn't mean to interrupt you. You're about to talk about the ADOS. Oh, yeah.
Oh no.
Boy.
ADOS. I've been seeing a lot of ADOS, like people especially kind of reemerge after the rumors they were going to pay the money to the illegal immigrants. And I saw some and I was like, this is baffling because they're like, yeah, we're all for that because we're next in line. Like, what? Wait, what? What are you talking about? You're next in line. If the illegals get money, you're next in line to get reparations. How does that work? You were first in line, and so the illegals have skipped over you, but now you feel like you're going to be next. Okay. And I make it make sense. I don't get it. I don't comprehend. Oh, man. That's crazy. Why? Heidi say how it's fair to throw pregnant women in prison while the players skate scot-free. Well, pregnant women shouldn't wear skates, Heidi. Okay, first, that's endangering the child, and Democrats don't believe in unborn children. So there's that. So that's why.
Yeah, fact. Yeah. Kenobi, thank you, sir. I appreciate that. And I'm not gonna eat that shit. I saw the picture, so I can't do that. That pack was bad enough. We just got so many more having. But throw pregnant women in prison while the players skate scot-free. What were we talking about? What, some child support shit? I thought only men go to prison for child support.
Yeah, I don't know what Heidi's talking about. She's speaking German right now. I don't understand.
Scheiße. Achtung. I don't know, but shout out to Heidi. She'll be. Yeah, man. Oh, God, the ADOS thing. It's still fun. First off, who said that there was a line forming for these reparations?
I don't know.
Who the fuck said that? Probably some idiot on Twitter, and then people ran with it. Oh, you heard that? Oh, I'm just retweet this. Yeah, look, that train left us. I wish Miss Grace was here. I wish, because, she would say at this point, we lost. We short. We done. We fucked, bro. And I laugh because it's like, damn, bro. It's really sad that all them niggas doing the conga line and electric shuffle and cha-cha slide when their man Biden got elected. I hope they're still dancing. I hope they are. I wish them the best of luck with that. But hey, look, these people are great Negroes, as he just said, great Negroes. So I mean, it's like he's had so many, we'll say, mistakes with his speech, but then someone says, "Oh, it's a stutter." I've seen speeches of this guy in the '90s when he was talking about that bill that he championed. He didn't have a single stutter when he was trying to make sure that his wife wasn't assaulted by one of these unmentionables. He didn't care the circumstances. He didn't give a shit. He didn't care one bit about it. Y'all need to watch his 1992 or 3 speech on the Senate floor about the crime bill. He was extremely eloquent. And you know what? there was a lot of wild shit back in the 90s and the 80s. I kind of don't blame him. But it was overreaching, and he is a police statist. And y'all about to find out about that soon enough. But, you know, it is what it is. But as for choosing sides in the world, I've been on both sides. Like most 80 West people, you grew up Democrat, not just liberal, but straight Democrat. We Democrat. And I'm not sure how that started, but yeah, well, most likely during the 60s, 70s, civil rights movement, all that. The presidents at the time were JFK and LBJ. You know, LBJ, which, and I'll say allegedly have these N-words voting Democrat for the next 200 years, and right on schedule, as I've said. The train's still chugging along. Oh, yeah. You know, and that's alleged. I mean, you know, you want to, you know, who knows? Maybe he didn't say that, but goddamn, if he did, he was on the money. Yeah. Anyway, so there's that. Then there's the whole family structure, the black family being destroyed. And I didn't know about these things when I first grew up. And I just knew, like, you're supposed to vote Democrat. You've been a Democrat. And I did that all throughout college. And then what really started me to look at the other side in terms of the Republican Party was a friend of mine, the first time I went to college, a man named Frost. He was a white dude. I guess he saw that, I don't want to say he saw that I was intelligent. I mean, I hope in college you have some bit of, I want to say intellect, because you got a bunch of dumbass motherfuckers graduating and shit like that. But he saw that, you know, I guess me and him, there are some things me and him would talk about in our political science classes where I lean more conservative. And he's like, hey, have you heard of this person? And he mentioned Thomas Sowell, Walter Williams. And so I was like, no, I haven't heard of them. And he's like, oh, check this. I watched some videos. And I was like, this makes a bit of sense. But he's like, you should definitely look at being this. I was like, man, I don't know. I don't know about being conservative. I've been liberal so years, and I don't want Republicans and the racists. I was like, man, I'm telling you, bro, someone's lying to you. And years later, I would end up going to YouTube and watching more information on conservative values, and it mainly clashed with what I've seen in my community. Mm-hmm. And I know that growing up with some of the shit, I know the dysfunction. The whole thing about the single-parent households, how fucked that is. My parents separated, and it was fucked. And it was fucked from the get-up. And yeah, I know he's dead. Thank you, Heidi, for reminding me Walter Williams is dead. Yes, sure, I appreciate that. And it just like a lot of these issues I've seen in the black community, you know, I just didn't agree with it. But then I started tracing it back, and a lot of the stuff comes from liberal values, not, you know, so as we call, oh, he'll be called a white supremacist. Oh, they'll be cheering on MSNBC, and oh my God, it'll be very amusing when he dies. Or they just won't mention it at all, one or the other. I started seeing like what I believe in clash with like a lot of the Democrat morals and values and stuff like that. And I was like, maybe I should look at that. And then, but I was still liberal for the most part. And then when Trump got elected, I was like, oh man, that fucking piece of shit, he's a fuck, getting all riled up and angry. Why the fuck am I getting angry? I was in the middle of deployment when he got elected. I remember initially saying like, I mean, maybe he'll do good, you know. I was talking to one of my supervisors, maybe he'll do good, we'll see. And then like being around some other people get you all riled up, that whole mentality, that group mentality. And then I started looking at videos of some of his speeches, like what he mentioned about Sweden and France and the UK, and how fucked they're getting by some of these liberal policies of just letting in tons of migrants, not vetting any of these people. And Paris is a shithole now. Thomas Sowell probably, they won't even mention Thomas Sowell, but George Floyd will have gold coffins and all this other shit. I mean, there you go.
They named a field. I can't get over this. They named a field after. Dude got a fucking basketball tournament, a field. They're writing a biography. Have you heard about that? The biography? It's coming out next year.
I don't know what to say, bro.
I said it once, I'll say it again, and I feel fucked up saying it. But George Floyd did more in death than he ever would have done for his family alive. You can feel however y'all want to feel about that. Would this man have, odds are, in your opinion, Dan, do you think George Floyd would have ever written a book? Had, say he was able to finagle that false 20 and, get away with it. Do you think the book would have still been coming out this year?
No. Not at all. Oh
my goodness.
You know what? And one of the biggest things in terms that will really turn me over to more conservative values, all the violence in the black community and how the liberals generally just excuse it. They don't live around us, so they don't care. When you hear these stories and you hear gunshots growing up and all this other shit, and kids getting shot in the forehead, sitting on their grandpa's lap on a porch. Remember one of the stories, a civil rights activist. No, I don't say civil rights activist. A civil rights activist. Her husband got wounded in a drive-by, paralyzed from the waist down. She gets killed like a few years later. I'm pretty sure this was the low-hanging fruit known as Chicago. It's like, wow, Jesus Christ. And it's just like, all these, and another story that made me turn like, damn, are Democrats this fucked up? Detroit. My dad was from Detroit, so I've been to Detroit. It is a shithole as well, and it's been ran by Democrats for fucking decades. And the man, Kwame Kilpatrick, the first, he's not the first black mayor. There was Coleman Young and all them others, and they were crooks too. But Kwame Kilpatrick, he was like the youngest mayor, very ill-spoken guy, all this shit. And you think he'd at least do some good. He was one of the most corrupt motherfuckers as well, bro. It was really sad, bro. Democrat. It's a goddamn shame. If he had actually been a force for good in the city of Detroit, he might have taken Obama's spot. Who the fuck knows? It's really sad how he fucked all that up. But hey, Trump pardoned him, so you know. He's a good Negro as well. You know, great Negro. It's just a lot of the chaos I see in our community, the Black African American 80 West community. I noticed a lot of liberals excuse that shit. They excuse these single parent households that are mostly ran by women and all the chaos that emerges from there. They excuse these murders. Oh, he just misunderstood. Okay, when one of these fools carjacks you and shoots you anyway just to get a body, catch a body, I want to hear that same excuse. I want to hear that same energy. Oh wait, you can't speak. You're in a box. Yeah, okay, that's what I thought. I didn't say Kwame Brown. I said Kwame. Did I say Kwame Brown? I said Kwame Kilpatrick.
Yeah, I said Kwame Kilpatrick. Heidi.
Heidi, fuck with me, man. Heidi, get the fuck out of here, bro.
Heidi doing her Heidi thing, yes.
Heidi, good troll, bro. God bless you. But I think it's mostly a lot of my views on like just the dysfunction in our communities. We can't get a true fix from the DNC. Actually, they a lot of the times they support that shit. And there's other people I saw too on YouTube that opened up my mind to certain things. One gentleman was David Carroll, and he was spitting real shit about some of the dysfunction in the black community. I mean, it's really savage, bro, how he was going in on that shit, bro. And he linked it, and he's one of the people who first introduced me to the whole issue of the 70s, the splitting of the black household, the embracement of the welfare state, all that shit. And now don't get me wrong, I think welfare is needed for people who have issues. My mother had debilitating seizures. She was an RN, and she couldn't work anymore, so she had to get on welfare. Yeah, she couldn't work anymore. She had disability as well. You know what I'm saying? So she needed that shit. And but the woman who has 5 kids just to have a check, no shit. Well, she needs it now. She has 5 kids. And there's generations of people that are dependent on the state. I mean, if communism does fully come to this country, like what's already knocking on the door, some of these people will be just happy to let that shit in. They wouldn't be looking at countries like Venezuela, which is supposedly socialist, but they're as close to communism, and how fucked they are, how bad their inflation is. You think we're bad? Dude, good luck with buying a loaf of bread in Venezuela with like 1,000 of their dollars. Good luck, man. It's like, and then meanwhile, their president, whatever the fuck his name, Maduro, he's out here, he's sitting in Europe eating at that salt-based restaurant. Watch people starve like a motherfucker. It's embarrassing. Putting on his babe and shit, salt-based rubber, dropping the salt on the goddamn steak, the salt's touching his goddamn forearm and shit. Like, bitch, don't do that shit to my food. Fuck, man. All right, give me the salt shaker. I don't want your damn hair flakes in it.
Ashy elbow flakes. Away from me. Salt base.
Oh, Louis, you know about David Carroll too. Okay, yeah, he's not a big Christian either. That's true. Yeah, everyone has their own things that they believe in or not believe in, and it is what it is. You know, I'm not gonna. Yeah, that's his decision to have that belief. It is what it is. So I understand you have that issue with him, Mr. Louis. But yeah, just some people on YouTube opened up to some different shit. Like I said, years later, I saw Travis on Facebook. I said, hey man, thanks for introducing that stuff back then, man. Now that's kind of all I've been listening to the past few months and so. And he's like, man, you good, bro. I just, tell a friend. So, you really put me onto some real shit, bro. And I'm just mad it was a white person did that.
I mean, but here's the thing. I mean, if it wouldn't have been the odds of it being one of us, it would probably be very slim to none. unfortunately. You know what I mean? Because when it comes to us,
Yeah,
it's oh, that R stands for racist. It's not
yeah.
Republican. Like motherfuckers automatically hear Republican and they turn off. Like it's a crazy thing in the black community. No other community
Hmm.
does that, right? None. And it's just, shout out to Heidi. She sent me a very interesting statistic. Um, should have stole it from her damn story and used it, but it was about two areas, counties on the border of Texas, right? And how they have been trending Republican. It's the last, what is this? This is what going to be 20, but the next one will be 2024. So it's 2020, 2016, 2012, I think 2008. So I think the last four elections or so. And it went from one of them was like from 16% Republican to now almost like 60, I think 65 or something like that. And then the other one is just it's gone from a very low number to about right under 50. But I'm saying just increasing. Now they're small counties, they're not huge counties or anything,
Yeah.
but it's like, why is that? And these are on the border of Mexico. Republicans say, hey, close the border, don't all this other stuff that they talk about. Why would these places here, where you would think would be heavily Hispanic populated, why would they want to start aligning more and more with the Republicans? Like it makes you question, it makes you wonder.
Hmm.
It's the two most Hispanic counties in the USA. Oh, well, that's even more interesting. So, it's
Now, I hear you on that, man. Now, another thing is, now I'm not a Republican, not a registered Republican, none of that shit. I'm conservative, and I'm not libertarian. I think that the libertarian ideology of hey, you can do whatever you want kind of thing. I think that's a libertarian belief, if I'm correct. I'm sure someone will correct me if I'm wrong, but I think that's like yeah, legalize everything. I don't think that's the wisest idea, especially when it comes to like drugs and shit like that. I wrote a paper about like certain. It was for ethics class I had when I first entered school. And well, ODU where I'm at now. And like I mentioned, like it's a good idea to give people certain freedoms, but some things remove a person's moral capacity. And certain drugs are one of those things. So certain things should not be legalized. But all you're doing is just fueling the cartel. They're gonna supply the shit. Cartel or them boys in the meth crankster trailers in the boonies somewhere. So they're gonna keep making the shit, And so it's unavoidable. But I don't think we should be promoting that specific things like meth and stuff like that. That shit robs people of their mentality, man. It's fucking sad. So that's why I'm not a libertarian either. I think there should be some limits for a functional society. I think the guys who move the drugs around in automobiles are the death penalty. How Biden of you? Yes. But be more. What's up, be more? Yeah, man. I mean, yeah. I'm not gonna say I'm a great mind, but we think. I guess we think alike. Okay.
I think you're a great mind, Dan. I look forward to the Dan calls. Dan always drops good heat. And he always drops something that gets me thinking about it. That's why I drop my little note. What was Dan talking about over there? Let me go ahead and check this out. But yeah, so I definitely think you're a great mind. Dan is a very wise, intelligent gentleman. And so, yeah, I think
Now,
that's safe
and Honcho, thanks, brother. Now, something else I'm glad I mentioned before I leave. I know someone else probably want to call in. There's some videos I'm watching. I think it's these people go around college campuses and ask college students different questions.
to say.
And colleges are generally liberal. That's how it goes. There's always a little communist commune somewhere in there. And they asked this one group of students in one school. I think it was a Florida school or something like that. What do you think about quotas for certain schools and stuff like that? And they're like, oh yeah, we need diversity and inclusion, There's two big buzzwords that go around a lot. And then when they mention it for the football team, they're like, oh well, you know what? On that note, it's got to be about skill though. What's the difference?
Exactly.
Like, it's different now because y'all motherfuckers want okay.
No.
Kenny, Kenny, I responded to the Republican thing. Kenny, I got you, man. I fuck with you, bro. You know what I'm saying? And then they asked another group of students, oh, well, President Biden, what do you think about President Biden's initiative to help the Green Deal or something like that?
Mm-hmm.
What is your opinion? Oh, yeah, we should support it. Well, would you sign this pledge to do three things? Don't drive in any planes because that adds to the gases, the greenhouse gases, all that stuff. Only eat cold meals or only eat a hot meal once or twice a week because, using the stove burns up the fuels. And only use a bike to get around. Boy, them motherfuckers walked off quicker than a bitch, bro.
No shit. Yeah.
And then you ask about healthcare when we're gonna have to raise taxes exponentially to support everyone's healthcare. Well, I don't know about that. I'm like, but bro, this is the only way to do it properly, right? You know. And then one of the people was like, you know what? I think it's bullshit because they'll fly on their private planes to go to their Hollywood bullshit, but we can't do it. Fuck them. And I was like, there you go. I respect that. It's just, you know, a lot of these ideas, they seem nice, but when you look at the logistics of it, it's damn near impossible. Or people aren't willing to do it. So, you know, before you sign up to something, understand how to get there. Yeah.
Yeah,
that's all I really got to say.
Yeah, but I agree with you on that.
It is opposite identity.
And that's the thing.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
Oh, no, I'm saying that's what I agree with you on is that, and that's the thing. Like, it's not that I think, you know, it's not being callous or cold-hearted or, you know, not having concern for other people, but, you know, resources are finite. You know, I mean, you know, the ability to do certain things is there's limits, right? And then once you start taking from others to, you know, help the other, like, when does it become unfair to the people that you're taking from, right? If they're doing the work, if they're creating, if they're producing, and, you know, the other's not, because that's the thing. The people who are poor, the reason people are poor is because poor people don't produce, right? That's why. You know, if you're producing a product, if you're, you know, producing labor or whatever else it is, in an efficient way, you know, you can usually generally come up out of it. But when you're not, when you're looking for ways to avoid doing that, and, you know, you just want the handout, you just want to, you know, get something, like, you limit yourself, and then two, like I said, eventually you're taking out of somebody else's pocket for the work that they've done. You know, when does that end? When do you say, okay, when does that either have the person who's like, well, shit, if they're getting just as much as I'm getting, and I'm actually working, well, what's the point of me working? You know, it ruins the incentive to have any ambition. You know, and that's my biggest issue with it.
Yeah.
Right? So,
I agree. I agree. And one more thing. I know I always say one more thing, then I say two more things. I got to get better on that.
You good, man.
I'm so glad I became more conservative when I did, because you see the steady slide into quote unquote progressivism, which just embraces some of the most, I don't say weird, because I think I accept other viewpoints. I understand that. I do my best to understand other cultures. I spent some time overseas when I was in the Navy. I spent 2 years in Japan, and, you know, but that society is generally conservative, so I didn't have any issues getting there, you know. But, you know, just now, I go to Old Dominion University. Recently, they made the news a little bit because a certain assistant professor here was writing some documentation about maps. And you don't know what a map is? That is a nice way of saying someone, a minor attracted person. And saying how, I heard some, I'm trying to remember what they said exactly. I know you talked about it, Honcho. You posted that in the Discord. And I just don't agree with that. Look, if you have those sort of that predilection to be attracted to children, I recommend you go to your nearest psychologist, psychiatrist, possibly get some medication, or just to talk about the issues, because that's not a healthy thing. It's not a healthy thing. The chomos, diaper snipers. Look, I don't fuck with that. I really don't. And now they did Kyle. That's why I killed one of them. Shout out to my nigga Kyle, bro. Nigga on the trigger, Kenosha kid, bro. We'll see what happens with that, bro. Yeah, I said it. Yeah. I said that shit. Fuck it. Shout out to Colt. Yeah, man. You know, do your thing, bro. Absolutely. And like I said, I try accepting everyone's viewpoints, but some of these viewpoints have gone so far to the left, it's insane. It's insane. And those riots fucking last summer, I keep bringing that up because they are memory holing this shit, act like it didn't happen. Get ready for some more shit tomorrow or the day after. Whenever they make the decision on this case, we'll see. Niggas, it's like the minute Trump. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, I'm just saying, niggas is looking for a reason to riot in 21. They pent up. They looking for an excuse other than the real excuses. So they're waiting on a case that has nothing to do with niggas, right? Like, not at all in the slightest. Like, they can say, well, they were protesting because the motherfuckers who were out there wasn't protesting shit. They was burning down, tearing shit down, burning down black businesses, and ruining, you know, resources for families that built something for themselves. Other than that, the people who were on trial, the people who lost their lives, all white. Has nothing to do with anything Negro, black, great Negro, nigger related. But if it doesn't go down that way, because the media has black people's minds under control, because black people on average watch more television than anyone else in any other group. They have their minds under control. So if it does not go there, I would not be surprised to see Niggas out in the streets doing it again. You know, part two.
But here's the thing, though. Biden's in office now. Here's the thing, though. Now, something I did notice during those riots, the minute that Biden won the election, quote unquote, and I'll leave it at that right there. I started seeing a lot of these governors start trying to calm down some of these riots. I'm like, why didn't you do this shit months ago when it was in its worst? Y'all let them do what they wanted to do. Oh, here we go with this tap dancing shit. So y'all waited until the orange dude was out of office before you decided to call in a National Guard. I saw that happen in Oregon. The governor there, Kate Brown, calling there, and then that one mayor of Seattle, that cuck. Like, y'all calling the National Guard. Y'all could have saved people so much trouble, their businesses, their lives that were lost. What was that thing called? The Chaz? Remember in Seattle?
Yeah, the Chaz.
The Chaz, the Summer of Love. And it was supposedly all BLM. BLM was spray painted everywhere. Only people died in there were black men. Straight up. Summer of Love. What a fucking retard. Fucking idiot. Fucking, and these people, these terrible decisions that are made by these politicians and in the name of so-called wokeness, it destroys lives, destroys businesses. That's why I can't go back to that party anymore. Even if I was still liberal, I would not call myself a Democrat. Those people are disgusting. Thank you, Sarah. That shit is disgusting. These disastrous policies have wreaked untold havoc on America. And the media, oh God, the media. I'm gonna stop right there. It's been 24 minutes and 52 seconds. I have a timer. That's good, long enough, man.
If you good,
okay.
You better let them rip down. You ain't look, hey, do your thing, man.
Okay, I appreciate it, bro. The media, and you know that grease lip bitch Don Lemon, and I'm smart, fucking Fredo Como. That's the N-word. That's the N-word. No, that's not the N-word. That's your N-word, because people calling you weak, bro. Fredo was weak as shit. Yeah. you remember calling me? I don't care how much you bench press. You're still a bitch. Fuck him. Fuck ass. And that's just CNN. I'm not gonna talk about MSNBC and NPR and all this other fuck ass shit. Yeah, I mean, yeah. And there's actually something else I heard about too. What was it called? BlackRock. Apparently, there's this. It could be true. It may not be true. Someone deduced one of the reasons why there's all this wokeness nowadays. Apparently, there's like this one person, BlackRock, they give a bunch of businesses loans and stuff like that. So, and one of the incentives to qualify for these loans is the like they have a certain like diversity and inclusiveness policy, and like a lot of these media companies, obviously, you know, Hollywood, they get money from these BlackRock's one of the biggest corporations in the world. Fuck Google. They own trillions of dollars. And you get this money by fulfilling all this woke ass shit. And I gotta find that where I found that. I gotta find that, put it in Discord, because if that is true, then that explains a lot of the shit why they're gonna keep producing woke ass shit. Because they don't worry about your money as much. They make some money, that's fine. But if they're getting from this hedge fund trillions of dollars, you know, that are open to them for fulfilling this diverseness policy, well then good for them, you know. And that's BlackRock. So I got to find out, put it in Discord. I'm not making none of that shit up. And that explains a lot. So I don't think the wokeness is going to stop. Though a lot of people are getting tired of this shit. So I'm not going to say anymore, get woke, go broke, because I knew somewhere someone had to be funding this shit. Surprisingly, it's not George Soros. Surprisingly. I mean, he funds a lot of that shit. And George Soros, that's not like a dog whistle for conservatives. No, this is a man who's been banned out of dozens of countries for essentially like interfering with political processes. He funds a lot of NGOs, non-governmental organizations like Doctors Without Borders, and they bring in a lot of immigrants. I mean, look at Spain. Like, there are literally Africans from Morocco and Arabs literally just like sailing over, storming the beaches like it's goddamn Normandy in 1944. It's insane. There are videos of this shit. I remember one dude. This is funny. I'm like, boy, Europe is fucked. And I remember Kenny, goddamn, was she thick, bro? Anyway, so I remember seeing this, like, dozens of African immigrants just funneling here, and one of the guys looked in the camera that was recording. He's like, money, and that's what he said to the camera. I was like, y'all are fucked, bro. What do these dudes bring into this country that's useful? I'm not saying ban all immigrants, because a lot of these older immigrants, they're like, I don't agree with the shit they're doing. The ones who actually bother to learn the language of the country that they're going to, you know, learn British or French or Spanish, you know, ones who bother to do that, not expect you to learn their language, and then they'll call you racist if you don't.
Yeah.
The fuck. And there's actually a game that they play in Europe, and I learned about this before I went there. See, when we went to port visits in the Navy, there were like briefings that we did on certain cultures and cultural norms and things like that. And when I went to Marseille, France, there was one thing they said: if you're in the middle of the streets, it was actually the same way in Naples, Italy. If you're in the middle of the streets and you see someone trying to give you a bracelet, walk away from them as quick as possible. Don't be rude. Don't say shit to them. Walk away. Because what happens, especially white people, and they specifically said this. If you take a bracelet from them, they're going to charge you like 20, 25, 30, 40, 50 euros, which is a lot of goddamn money for some little rinky-dink ass bracelet. And you say, no, I don't want it. They'll say, oh, you want my bracelet? You're racist. You're racist. Yeah, it is Algeria at this point. Yeah. And then all of a sudden, this African dude, he'll whistle, and like 3 other niggas will surround you. And then you kind of fuck. Mm. So either you give them the money, or, good luck, man. People get stabbed. It shit happens. Mm. And they might arrest you because you're out of towner. Mm-hmm. And it's shit crazy, bro. So a lot of these people just take advantage. Yeah, Rome was big of that. The big tourist attractions, Rome, stuff like that. I didn't go to Rome. I stayed in Naples and got drunk. That's what I did. Fuck that shit. I'll get my drink on, bro. The wine there was good, and the pizza was amazing. But anyway, that's real pizza, man. Fuck this pizza and shit. But anyway, yeah, man. Like, people take advantage of your kindness, bro. That's how they do. So it would behoove a country to not support their borders, but to defend their borders. Oh yeah, Soros and the CCP, all that shit, man. America has some problems, and this guy in office right now, in my humble opinion, as long as he got into office, that's all he cared about. That's it. And he'll take whatever order someone gives him, as long as you don't expose his son's predilections for certain things. But he exposes himself, so I mean, at this point, why even bother listening to these people? I mean, we already know about his crack and cocaine use and meth as well. I mean, this guy, he's 50 years old. Be more. Well, shoot. I mean, I can't do it right now. I got to focus on school and work. But I appreciate the offer. But like, I just don't know, man. I just don't know. He's 50 years old, and I'm moving on to Hunter Biden now. He's 50 years old. When I first heard about him, I thought he was like 30-year-old. I can understand 30-year-olds having issues, but this man is 50-something years old, still acting like a 20-year-old a frat boy. Yeah. This is amazing. And if Donald Jr. were doing shit like this, or Ivanka was doing shit like this, it'd still be on the news. Oh yeah. To this day, the level of obfuscation that the media engages in is insane. That's why I can't trust any of them, including Fox News. Mm-hmm. Including Fox News, because when that damn bullshit ass Iraqi war was going on, they were kicking so hard for that fuckhead Bush. Mm-hmm. That's why I'm not Republican either, because the Bush administration. So straight up. Straight up.
Yeah, it's very true. Because the crazy thing was, I saw so many people alleging. What was when I think Don Jr. gave a speech, mm-hmm. and everyone, he looks like he's on crack, or not on crack, on cocaine. Look at him, yeah, he looks like he's on cocaine. And it's like, well, we know that other guy is literally, we have proof positive that he smokes rock cocaine. Like, one, how are you the son? Well, the son of a politician, a prominent politician who's made a few staples of American history, and you're smoking crack. Like, how do you get the? You have to go into despicable areas to get crack. Crack isn't delivered to nice areas. Like, you have to go like to the projects or to some seedy neighborhoods to get crack. I don't know. Maybe they have a prominent crack delivery service. Maybe they have some top-notch crack cocaine delivery for people like that. Yeah, so only the finest of cocaine and pure baking soda for you, my lord. It's just like that. How do you get all the crack? How? But anywho, it's just like, yeah, a guy who's there, but then we want to ignore that blatantly. There's a certain book that people dismiss that the certain groups rated for and obtained. And I think by them doing that was a huge mistake, because had they not rated for that particular book, you could have really pushed in there, oh, it's a fake, it's not realistic. But when you showed that you had to utilize the resources of government agencies to go and obtain something, that gives it a little bit of validity. And not a little bit, but a whole lot of validity. So, Again, that guy's all connected to all of that, but people don't want to acknowledge it. All the stuff they said about the last guy, and he wasn't perfect, but all those things you said about the last guy, this guy has actually done, and there's proof of it, or his children have done, and there's proof of it. But we're willing to wash it under the bridge because we know who controls the media narrative. So,
And what's the stuff about his daughter, Ashley, and the diary and certain showers and stuff like that? What's up with that? Why did the FBI raid Project Veritas? They kicked the door in. Like they was looking for the work. I was like, Jesus Christ. So that's how I know everything in there is true. That's how I know. Because the FBI, well, unless you're a parent who's concerned about their child being taught certain things in school, they consider domestic terrorists. That's exactly why they lost New Jersey and why they lost Virginia. Because apparently the dude, the trucker, he did win. Apparently, I was wrong. I'm glad to hear that. That's embarrassing. A trucker who had like he looked like it was like a 1997 commercial for like used furniture, and that was like his commercials. And he beat like a incumbent $1 million DNC candidate. That shows you y'all fucked something up. That y'all fucked something up really bad.
Yeah, no, that's
so it is what it is.
And that's the thing.
Okay,
and so shout out to, and I don't want to mess it up. I'm just gonna say Judy 100. I don't even know how to pronounce it. What, Querétaro, Mexico. I'm assuming I'll probably fuck that all up. But and it's 79 years young. Absolutely, I can see shit. That might be have to take that into account. Like I'm really thinking, about what's going on these days, and it's just like. You may know there may be other options out there. Hey, as long as the internet's halfway decent when you need it, I might need to consider it. I think I'm gonna become a prepper. I think I'm gonna have to start prepping. Like I advise, I'm not saying like I'm gonna go full blown, but I advise with the way things are right now, and it's not good. And the forecast on the other, I think y'all should just be, people. If you have the ability, be wise. Start thinking long term. You know what I mean? Querétaro. Right. Querétaro. Yeah, Querétaro.
Now, Honcho.
Yes.
Hey, I told you, you're going to start. The minute I call in, people going to leave. Oscar, he said, fuck y'all, I'm gone, bro. I told you. Did I say?
I mean, every conversation is not for everybody, and that's unfortunate, because I think, that's what the den makes it. Again, and if Mr. Oscar had, feelings and thoughts that he would like to call in and share, I'd be just as willing to listen to this. But, I hadn't seen anybody else want to share any thoughts, so I love chopping it up with my boy Dan the Man, and so we chopping it up. But... So Querétaro. But fuck all that shit. Shout out to Miss Judy. She enjoyed where she live at, goddamn. And as long as she can pronounce it, it's good. And since y'all got me over here doing some Spanish lessons, y'all got me over here doing Spanish 3. I need to go back to Spanish 1, semester 1 and shit.
Oh Lord. But yo, man, on that note, I am gonna dip. Miss Judy, hope you're having a good night. Man, that's all I got, man. Like I said, I've been on both sides. Oh yeah, go ahead, go with Honcho. Look, I don't block, man. Look, he got more game, he got a show. I ain't even mad at you, bro. I ain't even mad, bro. Do your thing, be more. But that's all I got, man. Just I would say look at both sides and see where your morals lie at. And anyone who justifies the riots that happened last summer, anyone who justifies maps, anyone who justifies any of that crazy shit, anyone justifies, and I'm not anti LGBT. It's those other 90 other syllables added onto that shit I have issues with. Straight up. And the T has some issues too, but I'm gonna leave that shit alone because they're already trying to beat Dave Chappelle over the head, and he got way more money than I do, and he's having issues with people. So I'm not gonna bother, and I'm not gonna poison your show with that. This is my thoughts. These ain't Honcho. I mean, if he agrees, cool. But this is Daniel talking, okay? I ain't gonna say my last name. You motherfuckers find out anyway and try to cancel me. That's all I got, man. That's all I got, goddamn it. That's it.
Really?
Well, thank you, B. More. I appreciate that. Yes, yeah, have a good night, man. I'm gonna chill the rest of the night. Hopefully, I'll get no calls about dumb shit at 3 in the morning. We'll see.
Just you gotta put the do not disturb on. Look, you gotta create your own little wall of peace after a certain time. Have do not disturb. Catch the voicemail in the morning. Certain shit you gotta. Rest is important. But Dan the Man with the plan. As always, sir, I appreciate your calls and I thank you for calling in and, sharing your thoughts. And you mentioned a couple of things I'm definitely going to have to look into and get a little bit more well-informed on. So I appreciate that as always, sir, and I hope you have a good evening.
Thanks, man. Like I'm gonna try to put it in Discord by tonight, that thing I mentioned about BlackRock and how they're supporting some of these companies. I'm definitely looking for that. So I'm going to make sure to do that right now. Y'all be safe, man. Take care.
I appreciate it. Shout out to Dan the Man with the plan. I guess it helps. Dakota did not move to Africa. Dakota is somewhere probably in the Cyprus area. So Dan mentioned something, right? For those of you who are not familiar, I'm gonna show y'all something. I posted this in the Discord. This is why I always implore y'all to come and join the Discord, because at various times of day, usually try around noontime, if I get a midday dash in, or today we were in there, I'm organizing the garage, gonna need to put a deep freezer in there. Like I said, I'm telling y'all, just the way things are going in society, it doesn't hurt to be a little bit more prepared, right? And it means I'm just noticing you hit the stores, shelves are a little lighter. They're not as well stocked as you would like. So, but it's always their produce. People don't eat real food anymore. That's the crazy thing, right? Telefono. Is that what you want, Heidi? You want to call me on my telefono? That didn't work. Shout out Chocolate Milk. What's the motherfucking deal? Lovely Miss Sarah Lou. How are you? I'm going to show y'all a video, though, right? I'm going to show y'all this video. And hablo castellano. I think that's what I remember when I was doing the, what was that shit? It wasn't fucking, what is that shit called? Oh, I can't remember the thing. I was doing it for a couple of months and I stopped. And I was actually doing pretty good. Like, that's what I always have with my Spanish. It's like, I'll start learning it again and I'll be doing pretty decent, but I don't have anybody to talk to in Spanish. So it's just like, I'm enjoying it for a little while. I'll be replacing my words and shit. And then it's just like, well, fuck it. I don't want to talk to them. Just start hanging out at Home Depot and just talking to random people. They go try to get in my car and shit. Oh, you got a job? Oh, no. No trabajo, mi amigo. No, sir. So those of you who may not know about who may not know about this. So I had a whole article on everything that I want to show y'all before my PC had some little issues on Friday. This was going to be part of the conversation. I just got to see which one is the long one. I think it's this one. That's what she said. All right, so I'll give you a little bit of background on this after we watch the first video. So I want y'all to understand what a map is and what a map means, okay? I just want y'all to check it out. Just listen. These are people that people are advocating for in our society and trying to, normalize this, and just look again, just check it out. I don't think I have the volume on. What's this number? 4. Okay, bring that back. And
that question. I use the term minor attracted person or MAP in the title and throughout the book for multiple reasons. First of all, because I think it's important to use terminology for groups that members of that group want others to use for them. And MAP advocacy groups like Before You Act have advocated for use of the term MAP. They've advocated for it primarily because it's less stigmatizing than other terms like pedophile. A lot of people, when they hear the term pedophile, they automatically assume that it means a sex offender. And that isn't true, and it leads to a lot of misconceptions about attractions toward minors. I've definitely heard the idea that you brought up, though, that the use of the term minor attracted person suggests that it's okay to be attracted to children. But using a term that communicates who someone is attracted to doesn't indicate anything about the morality of that attraction. Thanks so much for that question.
So I kind of have to, let's see something if I can fix this. I think this is the issue. Let me see something real quick.
Question.
Yeah, all right. Cool.
I use the term.
All right, so here's this, right? Here's this. This person is a trans non-binary. Let me just see if I can find the whole article. Microsoft Store. Let me find if I can, because like this is not a joke. This is a real whole thing, right? Where was that article? Oh, I guess if I spell it right now. Where's that shit? Should be in my history, maybe. Let me see. But anyway, so this person's like a non-something other thing, like a lot of stuff going on, right? Oh, I think I might have cleared out. Oh, let me see if freeze up. What the fuck is going on? I don't want to do that, but I can't add a fucking space after that. My space bar not work. What the fuck is going on? It's doing a bunch of weird stuff. What the fuck is happening? Shit is fucking tripping. What in the fuck is happening? My shit is doing some extremely weird shit right now. Hold on 1 second. Let me figure out what the problem is. It's like, no. All right, hold on. I gotta put y'all on the pause screen for just a second. Figure out what this is taking place. Give me just.
that question. I use the term minor attracted person or MAP in the title and throughout the book for multiple reasons. First of all, because I think it's important to use terminology.
Bro, I don't know what's going on. I don't know what is happening right now. Something crazy. For some reason, there's like the C button is stuck on my shit, right? But here's the crazy part about it. I've unplugged my keyboard and it's still fucking going. Like the C button is fucking, it's just fucking locked, right? And so I have no idea. Yeah, just the letter C is just repeatedly right now. The chats, it's clicked on in the chat and it's been pressed. It's pressed like C over 2,000 times. My fucking keyboard is not even hooked up. All right. So I'm like, what the fuck is going on? I unplugged that bitch. And it's like right now it's you got like a 200 character limit in the chat. It's at 2,500 or something. So yeah, that's really, really strange, right? It's just it's ridiculous. So I don't know why it's doing that. I don't know what would cause that to happen. That's never taken place before. See, there you go. You figure out a way to beat the system. I don't know what's going on. This is crazy shit. It's at 3,000 or so now. But yeah, I don't know. I have no idea what the fuck is going on. I have to reset this bitch or something. Like, I don't know what is taking place. The alphabet, we got an alphabet for you, nigga. Because even when my shit is in, I could fucking, but there's no keys. There's nothing. I have it's unplugged. The keyboard is unplugged. I got a keyboard that fucking, well, it's dusty as shit. I'm almost embarrassed to show this motherfucker. God damn, I need to clean this bitch. See, like my keyboard, right? It fucking lights up. No lights or nothing because it's unplugged. This shit is, I should be ashamed of myself. I did a whole thorough cleaning off. I did not even think to hit this fucking tray. I'm a piece of shit. All right, well, I'm going out the window. I'm going to do what Heidi says. I'm gone. Nah, but yeah, I don't know. I have no idea. It's very odd. It's very weird. That's the crazy thing. It's possessed on its own. It's a USB keyboard. I unplugged out the USB because it has a very specific plug to it. It's unplugged. It's not hooked up at all. Because if it's hooked up, it's like lights up. I have all my lighting settings to fucking purple. And this bitch is not connected. Yeah. I don't know what's going on. This is real weird. I don't even use the goddamn Memphis got my goddamn keyboard. I don't even use the letter C on my keyboard, right? You know, because you know that's just how serious I am about it. It's like it is character. Look, come on. So now I'm gonna have to fucking run this back through that fucking thing again. But fuck it. This is the plug for it. This is the keyboard. It is fucking. It is just fucking the letter C. That's just it. So I don't know what's happening. It's still going down. Yeah, they bang it. It is at now what 6,000 and 6,600 and let's go 6,700 now. So yeah, I think I didn't give it the Nintendo cartridge cheap. I need a quarter, and I don't know. Let's see. Maybe you see it's the hater shirt. It's because the haters. So I got hacked by some haters, and now I got C's all over my shit. I have no. I don't know what the fuck to do. That kind of ruined my whole little deal because I'm going to bring up the article about House of Art, but I guess I'll talk about it. That person is like a trans man, whatever, and you can see the femininity in their behavior, right? And you can tell there's some other things going on because it's a very odd body language that they have. They seem really weird and uncomfortable. But my thing, I'm gonna get bucket naked. I'm not. I can't even show you guys my side angle. The bitch crawled out the TV. I'm gonna be honest. I'm too old to run. I'll fight a ghost. I'm at the age of where my knees bad. I just gotta fight any kind of supernatural spirits. I'll use the Memphis technique on. But yeah, and so this person's like a trans whatever, right? And so this is not even a born dude pervert, because usually those dude perverts, they got like a weird look on them. Like, how do you go from being a female to a trans man and you're still a pervert, a map, right? And what key stuck there? What are you insinuating, Delta Echo Golf? This is 2021. Nobody uses a computer for that anymore. Straight cell phone, baby. I take my goods to go with me. Yeah, it's janky. It's super janky right now. Super buffering, super janky. I don't know what's happening. So I'm gonna be honest. I'm probably gonna wind up cutting it a little short here. This is unfortunate. This is very unfortunate. I need to see what's going on. I probably need to restart this bitch. But what I will do, right? What I will do is how did I get that? Now that I'm thinking about it. What I will do though is probably be in the Discord for a little bit. So I'll post a link there. I got if you're in the Discord, I have this that's crazy. I don't know, let me like pull up the other little things. I have this thing for like a couple, I think 2 or 3 free months of Nitro. I don't really know what the difference is, but I'll give it to somebody. Well, I was doing season on Discord, but if I give it to you, you got to use the boost on the the Discord server. I don't know what the boosts do. They make it a little bit better, but oh, and then I got an Xbox Game Pass code, but for some reason they won't let me use it. So if you got an Xbox, and I think I'm gonna try it one more time. If it don't let me use it, I'll give it to somebody if you want it. Put a link. Let's put 12 hours. So if you want to come chop it up in the Discord, I'm gonna restart my shit after this, and then I'll be in the Discord. I want to check out some of that Halo Infinite, so see what happens. Yeah. Damn, I can't even share the link with y'all. That's some whole ass shit. I cannot share the link with y'all because I'm using a different fucking thing. And so I got like 2 different chats, right? So I got my chat bot. I have a chat that I have on the side of the streaming software, the OBS, and then I have a separate chat bot, right? And well, not a chat bot, just another separate chat. I don't know why I got 3 of them on. Terrible. Chocolate Milk, you're a terrible, terrible person. Shame. I would not condone that. I only wait until marriage, and then I knock them guts loose. Anyway, I can't even put the link in there. That's the problem, right? I didn't put the link in there. And I do apologize. I did. I'm glad you mentioned that, Heidi. Shout out to all of the veterans in the den. Like I said, I was not able to go live that day. And so again, if I do appreciate each and every one of y'all. But I'm gonna bring my OnlyFans back. It's only 10 cents. I'm gonna bring my OnlyFans back. You know, I was using it, but I stopped doing it because, you know, I heard they was you know, they was gonna take all the porn off. So, you know, I done brought it back. Shout out to Sarah Lou's pool boy. I want to check out this Halo Infinite. I'm gonna check it out. I don't know if I'm gonna stream. If I do, I might, you know, post it up in the Discord and just show it. But I don't know if I'm gonna get on the thing. Now, you know how long it's been. I have not played Halo in a long time. A long time. I think the last time I played Halo might have been 4, but it wasn't like online. I used to play with a couple of my cousins and shit, and they had been playing that shit for a long time. I had not fucked with it like that, but I got back to busting their ass. So, but here's my thing, right? Just cut motherfuckers down. Okay. All right. So this is what we're gonna do. I was out of there. Wow, that's terrible. This is unfortunate. It is put over. Let me see how we can do that. Damn. All right. I got nothing. There's nothing I can do to it. It is terrible. It is terrible, terrible. But yeah. Fucking A. I'm just calling it a wrap.